You're listening to the podcast where we talk about life, sports, family, and everything in between. Welcome to Just Talking Out Loud with your hosts, Ron and Terry.
Hello and welcome to our sunroom studio. I'm Ron.
And I'm Terry.
And we want to welcome you in. And we think this might be our season ending
Finale.
one. And we might have one by the pool if we get some people that willing to come on. Sometimes you ask them to come on and they're like, they kind of get like, what are you going to talk about?
Yeah, and then other times.
You get Zachary and Sarah on and they just talk. And it, in that 40 minutes went boom, it was gone. Because we get on all kinds of different subjects. We got a couple things we're going to talk about.
Nathan and Alexis somewhere.
Yeah, we got to get them on too. And maybe we'll do it down by the pool this weekend. We'll see. So we might pop on here and there. Maybe we'll come on after our vacation. Talk about our grandson, what it's like going down to Nags Head, him on the beach. So we'll see. We didn't talk much about Father's Day. Father's Day was just recent. And Mother's Day, we had done 3 episodes all in a week.
Yeah.
And Father's Day, nothing. I don't know why. It just
Father's Day was kind of a break for us because we've had something going every weekend, and so Father's Day, you decided you kind of wanted to just take a break, and you
kind of chilled.
You saw 2 out of 3 of your kids, and the other one and the grandson on the
FaceTime.
On FaceTime. So yeah,
we still missed him. Maybe we'll go to the zoo.
Yeah,
we're going to go to the zoo on the hottest day.
Saturday,
yeah, 90 degrees to go see
see if
to
they
go to the
change
zoo.
Their mind. Maybe
they'll come here,
and then go. I don't know if they're open. Because we'll have to pay to get in whenever we go. So,
I want to ask you. We're got a couple things we're going to talk about. What would you do for an extra hour of sleep? Talk about that. We're also going to talk about your favorite vegetable. They did a survey. You've been eating a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits. And then maybe the second half, we'll talk about some of our phobias and some other little tidbits. But one of the things that I wanted to ask you, because I just saw this, I was in the studio doing some recording, and this came up, and it said, do you ever have somebody that you maybe haven't seen in a while and they remember your name? Or just, you see anybody and they remember names.
And you can't
and I can't remember a name.
Oh, God, I hate that.
I know, and there was a thing, and the first thing we think about usually is our memory's gone, right? Well, according to this thing, I'm trying to go by memory because I couldn't print it out because the printer wasn't working. According to this thing, it said that it might not be our memory. It's how much interest we have in that person. And I don't buy that.
I don't either, because there's been a couple people that I was trying to remember their name from when I worked at the bank. And one had went through some marriage difficulty, and she'd shared with me. And I was trying to pray for her to forgive her husband. Mm-hmm. And so I was really listening and trying to give her good advice, because she was just so mad she wanted him out of the house. And I can't remember her name. See? I can remember her looks. I can remember. And
you were vested?
Yes, I was vested, and I remember it because things were so difficult for her, and they had like 20 years of marriage in when, something came between them. And, I was like, oh, God, you never think of that happening to you, but would you forgive? Would you try to go to counseling? Would you, you know what I mean? It depends on what it is, but I mean, people.
Yeah, I just don't, you
can't hold that bitterness in, just makes you a bitter person.
Right. But I mean, as far as remembering names, it's not that I'm not interested. I just don't remember. Is it because I'm not interested? I don't think so. I mean, most of the people that I meet are very nice people, and it bothers me that they know my name and I can't remember theirs. It still happens today when I go into work and they'll say, hey, Ron. I'm like, oh, man.
Oh, God.
What was their name? And it was even worse because coming back the beginning of this year, because of COVID, hadn't seen anybody in a long time.
Yeah.
So when you don't see somebody for a long time, it makes it even worse. So I don't think it was not vested.
When I worked at the bank, part of your job was, to remember Mr. Burke and Mr., like,
when you're at the bank, yeah.
Yeah, and so I kind of erase that part of me when I didn't have to anymore. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I didn't have to remember their name. You know what I mean?
But if you
would
do,
try to mentally note, okay, that's this one, and and then.
But if you do remember somebody's name, is it because of something specific that like when you see somebody, you're like, oh, and it's because of maybe, maybe they had a particular mole somewhere, or maybe they had their hair. I mean, not for me. It doesn't work for me, to be honest. But I just wondered if there was because there's times I remember.
I mean, there's some people I don't remember their name because I wasn't. Like, if you think back to childhood or high school even, and maybe like I was on the sports team and that came up lately. Someone had a picture on the on the Facebook.
Yeah.
And some of them I couldn't remember their names, and it's because we ran in different circles. You know what I mean? It's not that I didn't like them or they didn't like me or we ever had it was just that, and maybe I would if I had a fight with them, then maybe I would remember their, you know what I mean, if they really offended me or something. But the ones that I couldn't remember were mainly, they were nice people. It was just they ran in different circles than me.
Well, we couldn't even, with that picture, it was a softball
blurry,
picture.
Though,
it was very blurry, but we couldn't even recognize where you were.
Yeah.
For sure.
Me and my sister, I mean, we could tell, yeah.
It was difficult to figure out if that was you, because we actually picked, like, there's a person in the back. We thought, oh, there you are.
And then that was my sister.
That was your sister, yeah. It was weird to try and, and then later we found the names.
Yeah.
But still was hard to.
A few of them, but.
Yeah, not all of them.
But there was, yeah, there were some that
But it's those kind of things that, like when I saw that, I'm like, I wouldn't say, they say it's because you're not interested, not vested.
Those people I only played, some of them might have only been on that team that year. Other ones were 2 or 3 or 4 years, and then the team had split. So, those ones, but if I would see one of the ball pictures like that from Michigan when I was younger, I probably would even know less names,
Right.
I probably would know the few that I hung with and maybe the main base players or something, you know what I mean, or who pitched or something like that. But I don't remember that. Yeah,
since you saw somebody?
Oh yeah.
So you're talking about years too. It's not just not being vested. I think part of it has to do with you haven't seen somebody like a kid. That COVID thing really played a huge part for me because I was just getting in the kind of the groove, and then you don't see anybody for a long period of time. They start coming back in the office, and you're like, crap, I know who I recognize them. So that's yeah, right.
Where.
What floor? Exactly. Yeah. So I don't buy that I'm not vested.
Yeah.
But they say that, I mean, that's just according to that study.
Article.
But I just don't buy it because I think there are people that you just don't remember their name. I mean, that just, there are people out there that, you don't care if you remember their name or not, unfortunately. And that's unfortunate that there are people like that.
Because I personally try to treat everyone the way I would want to be treated.
That's what my dad always said.
And personally, if they're having a hard day, I try to make it a little bit better.
Right.
That's one thing I like about my job. Sometimes I get kids come through there. They're upset because they were late this morning and mom yelled at them, dad yelled at them. They're already upset. And so when they sign in, I say, have a good day. It's okay. Have a good day. So you're late. Oh, well, brush it off and start over again and get to class and have, I try to be upbeat about it. And a lot of the kids now will just come in and they try to beat me to that punch of have a nice day. They try to, And
sometimes you don't think you're making that impact, but you are.
Yeah, because a couple of the parents have told me that their kid had said they would like to go in late because their friend was at the, and for a child to think that me being an adult is their friend makes me feel good because they feel they would, I hope that they would come to me if they were having a problem that they couldn't talk to someone else about, that they could tell me and that I would care enough to try to help.
And they could trust you.
Yeah.
To do that.
Right. To try to help in any way I could, And
we've raised our kids. We've always, my dad always said, treat people the way you want to be treated.
Right.
Now, not all people are going to be receptive to that.
There's some mean people out there. I've had people come in and they're just so mean and nasty that you just want them out of there as fast as possible. And I try to treat them nice still.
And I think it's gotten worse.
Oh, yeah, it has. Because there's more and more
people nasty
are on edge. People out there. You notice that? Yeah. It's the world we live in.
It's nasty.
It's changed. The world has changed so much and people are selfish and they are not, it's all about ourselves and it's all about what we want and not what people aren't trying to find their destiny or their purpose in life anymore. They're trying to extinguish theirself. You know what I mean? It's like it's all about me.
Well, it's all about now. It's Facebook, TikTok. It's how do I become more seen? How do I become more?
And it's more.
I wouldn't mind that if it was like beneficial.
Like it's a popularity contest sometimes, and you know what? They're gonna find out that hey, they got out there and they got 30 friends, but they lost their 2 closest friends in that, and the ones that would have stuck closer than a brother, they lose, and they don't realize it until it's too late. That meant so much to them, and then they look back and say, "Oh, I should have called her." And guess what? She's not available for you anymore.
I think we binge watched The Circle.
Yeah,
and if you guys that are listening have ever seen, Netflix has a show called The Circle, and it's interesting to watch these. There's several. There's like 7 people at a time, right?
Yeah.
Usually, somebody might get voted or blocked.
7, 8.
They call it blocked.
7, yeah, they call it blocked. Mm-hmm.
Someone might get blocked from the circle. They vote. They do a voting system. They all have to vote and put them in. They
only do it by their conversations.
Yes,
and they don't know if that person is a real person or a catfish or what.
It's all texting.
Yes, and they are themselves, but some of them are more cutthroat than others, and
some are not themselves. Some, like the one was his
catfish,
mom,
but they're very nice.
Yeah,
yes.
I thought Mama Carol, I think Carol was her name, was going to make it further. But as we got to the end of the show, and I don't want to spoil it if you guys are watching The Circle, but I think we both agreed that the person that won deserved to win.
Yes.
Because he played the game.
Yes. And
I don't know if he played the game. He just was himself.
Yeah. And very bubbly and uplifting to everyone that he talked to. And And
once you found out his story.
Yeah, then that made you feel for him even more.
Because how he was so bubbly by losing his parents, his grandmother too, I think he lost.
I think, yeah.
And, but it was, he was always voted
he was
in the top 2, 3. I don't know that he was ever
very upbeat. That's because he was very upbeat. Even
I think
though his life,
it's an interesting
threw a lot
show.
Of daggers at him.
It's interesting in that how they try and I don't know. We don't see a lot because they edited a lot of it out. So we don't see a lot of the conversations that really went on. But I don't know if you like something interesting. I mean, it's a little different. The Circle.
Yeah,
it's a little bit more intriguing than. What was the one we watched where you couldn't have sex?
Oh, God.
What was that?
Those people were nuts. Those people
what was
were,
that?
That's what I'm telling you. That's how society is. They're so selfish. That's all they cared about. They come on there and then
they thought it was like Paradise Island or something.
And then they get there and they tell them you're not allowed. They're here for relationship help. And, oh, God.
I can't remember what it's called. Are You the One? No, that's the one where they're in the booth and they pick couples,
and they
right now. I'm confused.
But they're not.
We watch a lot of stupid shows. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, sometimes some of them we don't stick with, and some of them we do, and
Well, the ones that were like surprised at the reality stuff because we're into this reality as we're talking about it. But that one is they get on the island. They think they're not allowed to have kissing. No.
Yeah, they get money taken away for each.
And then they had this little like Siri talk to him. Lana, is it Lana?
Yeah, are you the one? They have to find their perfect. Everyone has to match up.
Maybe that is the one.
Because they have to match up to who the computer dating site or whatever matched them up for some reason. That they're more compatible.
So I thought that was the one.
And they're supposed to find their compatibility on one of them.
Yeah, whatever. Again,
instead of jumping in the sack, they're supposed to find with who they're attracted to. They're supposed to find who they're compatible with.
Yeah, but Yeah, that one couple could not keep their hands off each other. They lost all the money. It was $100,000, and they lost a good, 70,000 of it? Anyway, those are just some of the stupid shows that we end up watching on a day like today, a very cloudy day. Rainy day. And this is why we jumped on and thought we'll do a podcast today. Okay, so let me ask you this. You're enjoying your summer. Well, it's been kind of a rough beginning of a summer because we've lost some family, distant family, friends and family.
It's really real close. We've lost your aunt first.
Well, that's.
And we've lost my friend from church, and now I've lost a close family friend.
Too, because Lee too.
Yeah,
so it's been but as far as summer, it goes fast. Yeah, because you have your summers off, and I just wondered. They asked this question: what would you do for just an extra hour of sleep? And they have several different things here that they would give up just to get an hour of sleep. Is there anything that you would do differently we
have given up things for sleep before.
I don't sleep anyway.
You've given up.
What? Oh, we.
You've left me
not
alone
because of sleep.
To leave me, so let me sleep.
I've given up things, but it's not because of sleep.
You've given them up because
I've given up because you want to go to sleep. I'm looking for whatever yums, but you, on the other hand, are you don't sleep well. I don't sleep well anyway, so I'm used to it.
You don't need. I need 8 hours sleep. You don't.
Well, I'd like to get 6. But I'd never get 6.
Need 10 and more hours sleep, and
because we might go to bed. Say we'll go to bed at 9 or 9:30, which is still light out.
Between 9 or 10,
and it's hard now in the summer.
Yeah, it's more.
And I think that was the other thing I was going to ask you about too. When we get back, but I think podcasts have been harder to do because of our wet. We like to go down to the pool, and it's hard to put all this together. We got people over. But I think if
people just stop by, which I encourage. We have the pool. We put the money into it. Someone should come and use it,
I think even Penny said, we should do like a team building over at our pool and then do the podcast.
Yes.
And she's been a faithful listener. So Penny, you've been mentioned again. And we thank you for listening. We thank you for all of you people that tune us in.
Yes.
I know we're not brain surgeons, and we don't talk a lot about politics because, it's, you can hear that anywhere. And I still want to really
get some good arguments on that.
Oh, I bet we could.
But a pro and a con, you could really debate class like Zachary.
Well, Zachary, he debates you pretty good. So an extra hour of sleep. Would you do anything like? I'm trying to think. Here, I'll give you one. So 33% of people said for an extra hour of sleep, they would never use a spoon or knife to eat again. Well, you still have the fork. They just gave up the spoon and the knife. That's easy to give up.
Yeah, except when you have a steak and you can't cut it.
Just chew it like a caveman.
Yeah, just
pick it up
with your fingers.
Or hold it with if it's not depending. It would be tough with a
fork.
With a fork. They said they'd give up their favorite streaming service for a year. That's 30%. That came in second, which would be easy to do. Everything's so expensive.
Yeah.
Right now. So giving that up for a year would not only give you an extra hour of sleep, but save you some money in the long run. They also said for an extra hour of sleep, they would wear their most uncomfortable shoes for a week. That's right there,
my feet
29%.
My feet would be raw, if the back of them. You've seen Zach.
Well, that's why you'd have to wear the worst pair of flip-flops. But then you're in between, depending on how you...
Yeah.
If you wear the ones in between your toes or wear the ones that go over the whole foot. This came in fourth. Eat the same food for dinner every day, 28%. We're basically doing that now.
Salad,
fish, chicken,
salad,
fish, chicken,
salad,
right.
Salad.
Never go to a concert or a sporting event ever again. Well, that's easy for us because we don't do that anyway. Sleep on the floor for a month. That came in last. Just to get an extra hour of sleep.
Sleep on the floor for a month.
It wouldn't.
It depends on what kind of floor. If it's a cement floor, it'd be hard.
Well, that'd be tough. But if you could put blankets down.
Yeah.
If you're used to living out in a tent in the ground, can't be that hard on the floor just to get an extra hour of sleep.
I'm used to my waterbed in the winter.
Waterbed. A lot of people think, I don't know if people know, we still have a water bed.
Which is unheard of.
Yeah, a lot of people look at me and go, what? Yeah. We've been through several mattresses,
and even Nathan has said to me, "How can you do that? Oh, doesn't it hurt your back? It just hurts my." I'm like, "No, that's why I've kept it.
That's why you have kept it, exactly.
It doesn't hurt my back, which most people think it should, but it doesn't." And in the winter, with our like this last winter was cold. It cranked that baby up.
Heats up. It is kind of toasty. You've got me. See, that's where we've kind of worked off each other because you've got me kind of wanting blankets. Because you've always had blankets. And then I have got you into the go to store early, beat the crowds. So you're kind of even though you weren't really a morning person
before
when we met, you're more of a morning person now. Would you agree?
Yeah, and I especially don't want to go shopping at Walmart.
We are not an afternoon. No, we do not do afternoon. We don't do that very well.
No.
Okay, so sleeping on the floor for a month, that was last. For an extra hour of sleep. So, speaking of beds, how would you rate eating breakfast in bed?
Almost impossible in our waterbed.
Well, yeah, it would be tough, but would you like it? That's the question.
No, I'd rather go out to eat.
Yeah, I don't want all the crumbs in the bed.
Yeah.
It's bad enough.
Then you get more bug bites.
The dog's going to be here for a week, and I'm not looking forward to all the fur.
Yeah,
in the bed.
His fur, and especially this year because we had such cold winter, he's like losing little chunks underneath of his undercoat.
Yeah, I know. This is interesting because you just said you didn't like it, and I didn't like it either. That came in first.
What?
Do you like breakfast in bed? No. I do not like it at all, 35%. I don't really like it, came in at 28%, which is the same thing. I quite like it, 21%. I really like it, 8%, and then don't know, 8%. So the don't knows don't get breakfast in bed at all, or have never had it done. Well, I don't think we've ever eaten breakfast in bed, have we?
I don't know. The kids might have made me toast or something one Mother's Day when they were little or something, but
I don't. Yeah, we don't really eat in the bed. Oh, that didn't sound right. Food.
Too many innuendos.
Yeah, tell me about it. All right, so I'll admit it, I cheat. Just to let you know. Research found husbands eat healthy at home, but once they leave I'm it's burger time. So, ladies, if you're
cheat at home too.
Well, everyone, yeah, I do. I'm not as good at it as I like to be. You have just stuck to this thing. You really have. I mean, I give you credit because I don't know how you do it. And I wish I had more willpower. Like today, there's just food everywhere in that freaking building. And then you think that, okay, it's all gone, right? We had breakfast. So there was pastries. There was a burrito, breakfast burrito.
Sounds good.
There was, what was the other thing? There was potatoes that they made. They made potatoes the last couple mornings, and they were really good. So then they had pastries. And then you think, okay, that's gone. And here comes the lunch. And you've got roast beef, shredded pork. You've got broccoli salad. And then potatoes again. I think it was potatoes again. I mean, it's all. And then someone from another floor brings down, I have all these cookies. And it's like non-freaking stop. I can't, I just, it's ridiculous. I need willpower. I have none. Researchers discovered that men, in order to avoid conflict, will gladly eat healthy meals at home. They'd rather maintain a happy home than having a say in what's for dinner. They discovered that after 5 nights of chicken breast and salad, some men will sneak away to a fast food drive-thru. So what food does your husband cheat with, ladies, that he believes you don't know about?
Cookies.
We don't have any cookies in the house, but I did open your Sarah's chocolate pretzels.
Chocolate covered pretzels.
That you were holding on to.
Until after my diet.
Until after the diet. That was, and I didn't have very many. I just needed something. because I didn't have any dark chocolate. That's my go-to.
Now you bought dark chocolate.
I bought, so I'm good.
And I tried them the other day, and they're going stale.
What?
The chocolate-covered pretzels.
Are they really?
Yeah, there's just enough air in there, I think, to...
Well, you better eat them then. Better get them gone. Eat them up. You deserve it. You've worked hard. You've lost 20 plus pounds. I mean, I think, you look good. You really do.
Thanks.
You look good. So anyway, I have cheated with food. But it's hard. I'm telling you, it's every day. And tomorrow's no different.
Tomorrow you got more going on.
Yeah, we got more food coming in. We got breakfast and lunch. And I think breakfast is eggs, bacon, sausage, something else. And then lunch is ham.
Good to me right now.
Ham and turkey glaze, or I don't know. And then there's potatoes. And
when he adds bacon, we're going out for breakfast.
I know you want bacon. That's you have not had bacon for
over 10 weeks, 11 weeks, 11, maybe more, because I didn't have it for my Daniel fast and that either.
That's right. You didn't have any. We've gone to breakfast, but you still haven't done.
Since January, I haven't had bacon.
And you still haven't done the bacon. You haven't touched it. So we have a little bit of steak. We've had hamburgers. You're allowed that. Fish. We've had a lot of fish. Now a lot of fish, but it's not bad. I will
give you credit. You've ate the fish and you've never been a fish eater. And you've been eating fish 2 to 3 times a week, if not more.
But I like the cod we just had. That was good. What was the other one that we just, the tuna was surprising to me. I didn't think I'd like the tuna.
Salmon.
That was good. I like that one.
You like the tuna steaks better than like a tuna fish out of a can or something.
Yeah, I'm not but I did like the tuna steaks. Yeah, they were good. Anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of food that we've been eating over and over again, but we're still not getting an hour's sleep. So now let's finish up here this first segment with our favorite vegetable. If you had to pick a vegetable of all the vegetables, and you've been eating a lot of vegetables other than carrots, which I thought carrots were a vegetable, but you're not allowed carrots. I think there's a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
There's more sugar in them.
But they're supposed to be good for your eyes.
I like green beans.
Green beans? Okay. What do you think?
But then I ruin them because I put bacon grease on.
Green Giant did a poll for the annual favorite veggie survey. And if you had to pick a vegetable.
From Green Giant, I'd probably say green beans just because.
You would think. Yeah.
Because, he looks like a big green bean.
Broccoli.
Broccoli?
Takes the crown. It's a favorite vegetable in 29 states. Runners up are corn. I like corn.
We love corn on the cob.
Comes out the same.
Yeah.
It's amazing how it goes in and comes out the same.
We love corn on the cob. In
Carrots. Carrots. Potatoes and asparagus. That's weird because green beans.
Like a lot of people like mashed potatoes with the butter and the whipping, whip the milk in there and the butter and all.
They said some states swapped their favorite vegetable in 2022, like Iowa. They chose corn instead of broccoli. But I'm just surprised that the green beans isn't even on this list. And contrary to popular belief, more than 2/3 of parents surveyed say their kids enjoy eating vegetables. I think it would be tough. Although we always fed our kids because that was the staple. That was, you had whatever the main meal was, then you had like a starch, and then you had to have a vegetable. Of course, as we've gotten older, we don't do that as much as we used to. Would you agree?
Since I've been on this diet, I'm having 2 or 3 vegetables.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Instead of the starch, we're doing...
Yeah, I'll do like cauliflower or something so it looks like a starch.
Right.
But that's one of my vegetables because now I'm up to 3 vegetables, which I have to go look. I think I only ate 2 today. All right, so that's it for us. I had lettuce and tomato on my burger, so that counts.
That counts, lettuce and tomato. Because, you had salad.
It's like a salad.
Earlier today, too. So does that like...
Yeah, I had salad earlier, and then I had...
That doesn't count as multiple vegetables because of salad in there?
I had that bitter one.
You gave me a cucumber that just... I still can't get that taste out of my mouth.
I don't know.
Something's not right.
The whole bag isn't like that, so there's just little pieces you get. It's bitter. I've never had such a bitter.
If you have a salad, it doesn't count as separate, like if you had lettuce and tomato. And
I just write salad down.
so it doesn't count as, like, that would be your 3 in 1 serving? No.
No, and if you had 3 cups, if you had a great big salad, like, great big Eaton Park or Tower salad, that's a great big bowl, then that would count as all 3 of them.
Okay.
It's the amount you have, not the, like, I can have squash 3 times, half a cup cooked squash 3 times.
What, wasn't there a certain one you wanted, but we couldn't, like yellow? No.
Yeah, it's a butternut is
you
not
can't
on
have
there.
that
The
one.
yellow squash and the zucchini are on there, but the butternut. No,
Why is the
not on there.
butternut?
And it didn't have spaghetti squash, but I don't know if that's not listed because it's just not as popular. But I've started eating a lot of spaghetti squash and have the spaghetti squash instead of, which we should look next time we go to the store, have that as with sauce and meatballs instead of spaghetti noodles. And that way I'm getting a vegetable instead of a starch.
We were just talking about, going to the store and how it is very expensive to eat healthy.
Oh, yeah.
And because we've been buying more vegetables, we've noticed it big time. It is very cheap to eat unhealthy.
Junk.
Yeah.
Oh.
Very cheap. It's easy to go to the store and get a cheap box of Frosted Flakes the prices are still high, but they're not as high.
But you can eat it every morning.
You could.
For the $3 or $4.
The vegetables you got to eat because it can go bad.
Yeah.
You don't want to waste the money.
Yeah.
But it is so, you would tell people to eat healthy, but it's so expensive and the way prices are today. It's
we're
really tough
spending more on groceries for the 2 of us than we ever did when we had all our kids home and when we did foster care.
Easy. There's no doubt. No doubt.
And when we did foster care, I was home and I helped with other people's kids all the time too. I mean, there were days I had 8, 10 kids at this house. Yeah. Even more than that.
Right.
And maybe the
not
neighbors
foster
were up
kids.
here.
We just
No.
had friends.
Well, sometimes I would have our 3 and maybe I had a foster kid.
Yeah, we always.
And then I had 2 of their friends here.
That's what I mean.
And then I had my niece and nephew here. And then,
we never had more than 2 foster kids, I don't think, here.
At a time.
A time. Because there was Tiffany and then there was, I probably shouldn't say names.
For a while we had 3.
3.
Because we had teen mom with her for a while.
Oh,
and then
yeah,
we
that's
had
true.
the 2 other little ones with her for a while.
Yeah.
So while she was here, 2 sections of while she was here, we had 6 kids in the house.
Yeah.
And then when we had the brother and sister that were here, that was our 3, that was 5. And like the day that he got hurt, I had my niece and nephew here, the neighbor boys, and he got hurt, and I had to put all them kids in the car to go take him to the ER.
Yeah, we've had. Now it's like.
Remember, your brother had to come get our kids because
right.
I had too many kids to fit them all in that car and fit him in the car.
Yeah.
So your brother met me over there, took our kids to your mom so that I could fit the one that needed to go to the ER in the car, and the other ones had to sit in the ER with me.
We had a busy household. We
Yeah.
had kids running around, and now it's like,
Yeah,
you can hear the tumbleweeds going down the hallway.
Yeah,
so when Fenn is here, he's all over the house. It kind of brings back a lot of that.
Yeah.
We were either playing wiffle ball, we were playing kickball, or they were in the pool, whatever. Okay, so that's our first segment. When we come back, we're going to talk about your parents are coming over. Where do they sleep? And an Omaha couple wanted to do something great for bees, so they planted some nice flowers. And we'll tell you what happened there coming up next.
Okay.
So you want to start a podcast, maybe you're listening to the show today and you're thinking to yourself, boy, that would be fun, and I have a lot of things I want to talk about. Maybe today is the day. Maybe you're looking for a new marketing channel, or you have a message that you'd like to share with the world, or you just think it would be fun to have a talk show. Now, it is a lot of fun just talking to your friends. Maybe you have ideas about sports, life, or whatever your passion is. Today's the day. Podcasting is easy, it's inexpensive, and it's a fun way to expand your reach online. And where should you go? Buzzsprout. It's hands down the easiest, and it's the best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. And your show, believe it or not, can be online and listed in all the major podcast directories in minutes. like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast, and you wouldn't believe how many more there are. And they make it simple to join all of them. Podcasting is not hard when you have the right partners, and Buzzsprout is the team to join. They are passionate about your success. You can join over 1,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout. We're one of them. We've been on Buzzsprout from the beginning, and I'm so glad I joined up. I had a little bit of an issue, emailed a customer service rep, and they got back to me within 5 minutes, and they had me calm down. It wasn't that hard, and what I was doing was my fault. So here's all you got to do. Click on the link in the show notes. It tells Buzzsprout we sent you. You can support our show, and if you get a paid plan, you get a $20 gift certificate from Amazon. Now, here's some other things that Buzzsprout provides. Like, you get a great looking podcast website. Now, a lot of people think, oh, I got to get a website, got to pay for that. No, you don't. They provide it for you. Also, they have audio players. Maybe you have a website, and all you want to do is promote your show on your own website. You can do that with their audio players, and you can also drop it into other websites and on Facebook or Twitter, and they help you do it all. Believe me, Buzzsprout is the way to go. They've helped me immensely, and I've had a lot of fun doing it. So maybe today is a day for you to start your podcast. And if you do, check out the link below in the show notes and get a $20 Amazon gift card. Hello and welcome back to the show. We're really glad that you're with us today. We're going to have you play along with a couple things. We're going to talk about your parents are coming over. Where do you put them? Where do they sleep? And we're also going to talk about some phobias. See if there's something you really fear.
When my parents came over, where did we put them? In the room, right?
Well, that's the question. Like the question was, one person, this was on the radio, they talked about their parents were coming over and they put the parents on the couch. Now, it doesn't say that when they came to visit, because her second bedroom is set up for her pets. So she let the pets sleep in the second bedroom because that's how it's set up, and left her parents on the couch.
I'd have kicked my pets out.
I think so too. Apparently there's not a bed in there, I'm assuming. There might be like beds for dogs or cats or whatever they sleep on. But she left the pets in the room and then let the parents sleep on the couch. Now, it doesn't say here that it was a pull-out couch. Now, if it's a pull-out couch, maybe. But to me, if we didn't have, if the kids were here, we'd probably give up our room if it came to that.
Oh,
but we always lived around our parents, so we never had that where they would come visit.
Except my parents came from Florida every year.
Yeah, but by that
time we had an extra bed. As a matter of fact, they kept their place up here until our kids went to college, and we had an extra room. And that's one of the reasons we talked them into selling their place, because it was more work for us, because we were taking turns with Janet and Ralph going over and mowing until they got back up here. Mm-hmm. And when they first left, we usually had to mow. Or the one year it snowed so much, Ralph was over there shoveling their rooftop because he was afraid it was going to pull the addition off the place. So as soon as all our kids were going to college and stuff, we were like, sell your place. You can just stay with us when you're here, So
mainly if you're lucky enough, like we are and were,
mm-hmm.
when our parents were, well, our parents are still here, but if they were away, well, your parents did come up. But again, our kids, like RJ had already moved out. Nathan was already married by this time. So we did have an extra room. And we put him in a room.
Yeah.
And I think if we didn't have that.
I mean, they ended up here. My mom's first back surgery, they were here.
Yes, right. But if we didn't have that, though, we'd probably give up our room, more than likely.
Yes, I would.
And blow up the mattress, that blow-up mattress.
Blow up the mattress and put it in our family room. Or
right. Or in the living room for that matter. But
depending on whether it was warm out or cold out.
Yeah, that's true. You don't want to be cold.
Yeah.
And it's colder downstairs.
Yeah.
That's a good point. So, that's to me, I actually would wonder if you're sitting out there and if your parents come in, where do you put them? Do you let the pets take the second bedroom and let them sleep on the couch. Now, again, it doesn't say if
then
it's a
I would have
pull-out.
give up my bed and I would have took the couch.
That's how I would be, but there are people out there that just like their bed. And I understand, like, Raymond, who gave up his bed and also his pillow because his in-law slept in the nude. I always remember that's a great one because he's like, he's all over my pillow. But anyway, so where do you put your parents if they come in out of town? Do you put them on the couch because the pets have a bedroom? Or do you kick the pets out? I think you kick the pets out, but that's just me. Or I get kicked out and let them sleep. I mean, it's only for
a night or two.
Oh, yeah, depending. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe they're a week.
Maybe a week.
Or
I don't know.
Or
they're retired.
Yeah.
I guess they could say, we're not going for a month. That'd be a little tough.
Yeah.
Sleeping on a blow-up mattress. It wouldn't be bad in the summertime for you because
we did sleep on a blow-up mattress at your pop-ups.
Yeah, we did.
For about a month.
About a month, yeah.
Maybe a little longer. Yeah,
that's true. We did. All right, so we both agree that we probably we have the extra bed, but if we didn't, we'd give up our bed, especially if the kids were still in the house.
Yeah.
We agree on that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next segment. An Omaha couple planted a bee-friendly some flowers in their garden because they want to save the bees. And what they discovered was the bees were buzzing around, enjoying the flowers, but they were also enjoying the inside of their walls. They found 6,000 bees living inside their walls. They said you could hear them buzzing. You could hear them buzzing. And so they actually found a company. They called 2 services to help move the bees. And they opened the walls and they discovered perfectly shaped honeycombs. 6,000 bees inside the wall. So, I mean, they did a good thing.
But they really hurt themselves because, I mean, they've had to renovate
I'm sure it
house
cost, right? I would think.
I'm sure that didn't.
I mean,
wasn't cheap to open up your walls and get the bees out, and then you had to put the insulation, everything back in there.
I would think so. It doesn't exactly say. They said if you put your ears to the wall, you could hear the buzzing. And I don't know. And obviously, this happened over time because it doesn't say like when they planted the flowers in the garden and then when all this started. But I'm assuming that's kind of works together. All the bees started coming for the flowers, and next thing you know, hey, there's a hole in the wall. Let's go on the outside of the wall, and boom, 6,000 bees later, they're in the wall, the big honeycomb. But they got it out, and I wonder now, do those, the people that took, then they would be able to harvest the honey, I would think, right?
Yeah, but did they move the flowers?
Oh, I don't know. It didn't say.
I wouldn't want them right up against my house anymore.
You want the flowers, but away from the house.
Do you want another repair in 3 to 5 more years?
Or just plug the hole to wherever they were coming in at.
How do you know? And bees are so small. One gets in there, and you've seen a wood bee, and then they make a little bit bigger hole, and every time they go in, they make it a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, till you can get another hole in there.
Just like a mouse.
Yeah.
A mouse can get through the
chew that little bit.
Smallest of, I think they said like 1/4 inch they can squeeze their body through. But yeah, bees. Save the bees, but boy, I don't know if I'd want buzzing in my walls. 6,000 bees. So anyway, that's what happened to this Omaha couple as they were, I wonder if they got any honey. Maybe they can get some honey for how much they paid. I'd be interested to see how much they had to pay to have that taken out of their, it can't be cheap, right?
Oh, I wouldn't think so.
No, me neither. All right, so do you have any phobias? A bee sting? Is that one? So here's some samples of maybe a fear that you might have. So do you have a fear of any of the following? Like, for instance, you rank this. I'll give you a couple, and you kind of rank them 1 through 5, see where your fear is. So if I say spiders, snakes, heights, dogs, and cats, what would of those?
Heights.
Spiders, heights ranks up there with you? Really? I thought you didn't mind heights. I hate heights.
I don't care for heights.
We worked on this roof up here, and I was not happy.
I don't care for heights.
I didn't know that. I was thinking you don't mind heights because you do all the roller coasters, you do all the.
I'm strapped in, and I don't have to.
Still up there.
When you go up to if you go up in a building where the glass is floor and you look over, I don't like that at all.
I miss flying. Is flying? You don't have a problem with flying.
I don't, but I don't really.
I have only been on.
I don't.
3 planes, one really small and 2
it.
bigger. We went to Florida. I went to Atlanta with Sherry for our jobs. So flying, I was a little nervous, but I got through it.
We did real good when we went to Florida.
Yeah, well, we got there. It was 80 degrees, and then it was 28 the rest of the time we were there. When we left, it was 80 degrees again. That was a great trip to Florida. Spiders. So heights would be 1.
Snakes would be 2nd.
Snakes is 2.
And I used to like snakes. When I was a young kid, I handled snakes.
Snakes is number 1 on this list for the fear. So heights is 1, snakes is 2. I think mine is right there too because I don't like heights. Can't stand snakes. And then there's spiders, flying. Oh, flying would be low, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
kind of low on the list.
Most, I don't know. I've never been up in a real little airplane. That may bother me, but I've never been up in a real little. I've always been in commercial flights.
Dogs and cats. You have no fear of dogs and cats.
No, but you know what? Some dogs I do have a little bit of fear of just because they're mean, and even ones I've known have, little Rosie the hemorrhoid would bite your face
Cujo.
off. Yeah.
Yeah, your dad's dog. That dog was just a little, what was that thing?
It was a toy poodle.
God, that thing was mean. It was mean. It was Cujo, little Cujo.
Don't fall asleep and touch it because it'd bite your face, your nose right off your face.
How about storms?
No, not most of the time, but there have been a few storms that, like the night that crack came in the, tree, you're like, oh, that's close,
What about when we were down in Nag's Head?
Yeah, I wanted out of there. Yeah, I mean, when the steps went right into the ocean.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Tim was over at the beach, and we're like, we're leaving your butt if you don't get over here because
that wind
was wicked. And when you were in that condo on the 2nd floor, you could feel the whole place shake when you sat on the toilet. You could feel the place sway. It was awful.
What about needles?
I don't look.
I don't look.
You know what?
Yeah, I don't look.
They used to not bother me at all until I got all those in my veins, in my legs a while back.
And you had all those needles.
And then I had all them. Now I can't watch them take like I used to watch them take blood from me and everything, but now I just look away.
Yeah, I don't.
I try not to think about it.
I've gotten better about needles. How about crowded spaces or social situations? Do you have any fear of the following? Or germs?
Well, now they have me in a little glass portico, so I don't have to worry about the germs, like everyone sneezing on glass instead of on me. It is open in the top, so it's still airborne. Things can get to me, but
public speaking is up there, 23%.
And I don't know. I haven't public spoken a while, but I did mops and stuff, and I got in front of the group of ladies with. I got used to it, I guess.
Some people have a fear of feet, 2%. Must be some really scary feet, huh?
Yeah.
Put some socks on those things.
But if you look at some people's feet there, some feet are not pretty,
Yeah,
Mine
true.
are bony.
I don't know. How about clowns?
I went to the circus when I was young. It never bothered me.
Darkness?
I don't know if it would bother. It might bother me if it was 24/7 and so pitch black you can't see it all.
I'd say I have a little bit of fear of large bodies of water because I can't swim. But I mean, it's a little overwhelming for me. You don't. It doesn't bother you. But
when we went
on
a cruise ship, did that bother you?
I felt it was no.
But you did get seasick when we were in the.
Yeah, because of the dinner. The thing
was down below. Yeah, and you could feel all the waves. So.
Yeah, I was fine up until that point. And then I'm like, because the lady next to me was saying, you feel kind of funny? I'm like, yeah, I was fine up until, because it was on the bottom, the
The dining room.
Dining room was down the floor, on the bottom floor. Some people have fear of vomiting. I don't like vomiting. I don't have a fear of it. I just don't like it.
I could live without it.
I could too. I think we both agree to that. So yeah, we do have, bright lights, enclosed spaces, animals, fire. Well, I mean, nobody likes fires. Here's a good one. Fear. Dentists. I'm not a big fan. I got a great dentist, but I'm not a big fan. Doctors, not a fear anymore because really after all
the
surgery,
it was like, after all you went through, you're like, oh, well.
And he was a good doctor, so I can't.
If I can get through that, I can.
I don't know why the dentist I don't know why. Driving, I just hate driving. Hate it. Hate driving.
Don't I know that?
I hate it. I want to be
Especially
Miss
traffic.
Daisy. Just put me in the back seat. I'm good to go. So there's some of the fears, some phobias. We have some ones on here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Open spaces, crowded spaces. I don't like crowded. That's why we go early in the morning for shopping. Because we don't like
I don't think I would like to go to an open seated concert where you have to just stand, because if they started pushing and shoving, you could get trampled. I mean, that doesn't appeal to me at all.
Oh, I have one more thing I want to, and then we're gonna wrap this thing up as our season finale. If it might be, I don't know, we might do one from the pool. Who knows? Would you let a pest company come into your home for $2,000? And in exchange for the $2,000, they're going to release 100 cockroaches in your home to test out experimental pest control methods.
No.
You wouldn't.
Would you?
No. The Pest Informer, based in North Carolina, it was seeking a couple homeowners looking for houses to release 100 American cockroaches, not foreign. I don't know why it says that.
How do you know?
I have no idea. Maybe they speak a different language. I have no idea. But the trial lasts 30 days.
Oh, you'd have to live with cockroaches for 30 days.
Yeah, $2,000, but you have the cockroaches in your house for 30 days. Now, they'll
mate and lay eggs and stuff in your house, so you may end up with them longer than that.
If the experimental techniques prove unsuccessful,
you could be stuck with cockroaches.
No, they said that they have tested treatments that will get rid of the cockroaches, and it will be family and pet safe. Looking for
safety. They were probably looking for safer ways.
So if there's no way I'm going to let somebody put cockroaches, and I couldn't do it. Even for $2,000, it's just not worth it. Because they're not. I mean, you're in bed, one happens to crawl up on you. Huh?
I know.
It's nasty. All right, we're going to end it on that. No cockroaches in this house that we know of. Just stink bugs.
Yeah, and we don't like them either.
Stink bugs are everywhere. All right, that'll do it. We're done. Okay. And we want to thank you for listening. Hey, don't forget to subscribe. That way, every Monday when we get a new episode, you'll be alerted. Makes it easy. You can follow us on Facebook or Twitter, Just Talking Out Loud. And there's just so many ways to listen. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple. Odyssey now. We just got picked up by Odyssey.
Nice.
And maybe YouTube in the near future. We have to put our pictures up on it. But it's just a picture, and then you do the audio. But it would be a lot, I think it would be a lot more, we'll be able to talk to our audience because they can leave comments. Oh. We can read the comments and maybe answer them the next show. So that'd be kind of cool. I wouldn't mind that. Would be. So that's about it. I really appreciate you listening, and
have a blessed week.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's show.